I'd like to invest in your agency. He took a sip of his coffee, set his cup down, and leaned back in his chair, fixing his unnerving attention on me. You're consistent in closing cases. A team of 3 with your success ratio. Remarkable, really. 4. Sorry? A team of 4. 5, if you're including Mr. Mitchell. Ah, of course, the recent edition of The American. He'd said The American as though he'd had something stuck in his teeth. How is the case for John Domenici's innocence coming along? Montgomery was well informed, suspiciously so. It's coming, I hedged. I wish I could help. He spread his hands and applied a sad smile. He's in Wordsworth. Temporarily. I picked up my coffee, diverting my gaze from the man and his distracting trick, and buying myself valuable time to mask my expressions. I'm sorry to disappoint you, Mr. Montgomery, but Kempthorne & Co. has no need of a business partner. We're quite comfortable financially. He laughed with such abandon several other restaurant guests looked over. Of course you are. The Kempthornes didn't leave you wanting, dear boy, did they? Too late I'd narrowed my eyes, and some of my real thoughts likely bled through my sociable mask. What did this man know of my parents' situation, and mine? He smiled and said all the right things, and appeared to be mostly harmless. But at the mention of my parents, some of the kindness had left his eyes. This was interesting. He knew far more than he was letting on. He believed he had something over me. Perhaps he did. My parents' activities went far beyond my own personal experiences and the pieces of information I'd scraped together on them. Montgomery was of their generation, before the IRL, when things were done very differently, such as experimenting on latent children in search of the source and ultimate power. He leaned forward and lowered his voice. It's not money I want to invest. You obviously have no need of that. Then what are you offering? I measured my breathing, careful to keep my heart rate from spiking. Any increase in blood flow would risk my trick responding, and if he could see me as I saw him, he'd know my current smile was shallow. Knowledge. Slate-blue eyes sparkled. He had an angle, but I couldn't see it, and there was little I hated more than finding myself on the back foot. How so? Unlike the other agencies, yours tries to help latents. I do the same. He produced a business card from inside his tweed jacket and set it down on the table. Thomas Montgomery, Latent Studies and Neutralization. Wordsworth Psychic Correctional. I believe they can be freed of their affliction. He pushed the card across the table and gave it a tap. I kept my gaze on it, careful to buy myself a few heartbeats to maintain a flat expression. Wordsworth. Was that why he'd mentioned Dom? Was this a precursor to some kind of bribe? Let me into the agency and I'll see Dom receives fair treatment. Wearing my smile again, I set down my coffee and met his sharp gaze. Do you want to be freed, Mr. Montgomery? Now he knew I'd seen him. Seen his trick. Seen what he was. Seen his truth. All the humour vanished from his eyes, and his lips thinned. I found myself looking at the real man behind the jolly, friendly persona. We all had masks, and I'd taken a peek beneath his. We're alike, Alex, he said coolly. We should help each other. You're employed at Wordsworth? I picked up the card and examined it. It was certainly going on my murder wall. Despite my best efforts not to call my montage at Ravenscourt a murder wall, the title had stuck, although Dom couldn't have known how accurate his assessment was. Montgomery stared, unblinking. As a latent in a position of power within Wordsworth's wall,